Hi everyone, my name is Hannah Gale and this is my capstone proposal for MDS 492. The question that I have been asking myself over the course of this proposal in this 492 class is how might I remove barriers that parents face while attending Boise State University? Something that I thought about was a handbook for parents because Boise State has a lot of resources for non-traditional students, including parents, and we're just unaware of them. So how can we make a handbook and give this handbook to parents and maybe high schools for teen parents so that they have a resource list that they can show that Boise State in fact is a parent-friendly university. So why does this matter? Boise State, along with other universities, have a huge focus on the idea of finish in four. And this narrative can be very discouraging to non-traditional students. Parents are considered non-traditional students, so most of them have other barriers that prevent them from going to school full time, and so they're unable to finish in four because they are working or they have their kids to take care of, and so on and so forth. And class availability, if they're working, they cannot take day classes, so they're taking night classes, and then they have to find daycare, and it's this whole negative feedback loop. Finishing four typically means that you're taking 12 to 15 credits per semester, and that's just not always feasible for parents. Also, now 22% of college students are considered parents nationwide, and that accounts for about 3 million college students. So how do we help them? How do we keep them successful and enrolled, and how do we get them to finish their degree? Like I said, the resources are out there, just parents are not aware. For instance, when I first started Boise State back in 2014, I was a new mom and I was breastfeeding, and I was not aware of all the lactation locations that were available on the university. I was only aware of the one in the sub. So rather than walking all the way to the sub, since my classes were in the Kobe building or the education building, I would go home and I would pump. And I would do that, and I placed my schedule just perfectly so that I would have time to do that. And 4 years later, I realized that there are 8 other locations on campus, and that means that I could have stayed on campus. I would have had somewhere to store my milk, and that would have made my situation a lot easier. So how will I do this? I intend to do this by creating surveys, and these surveys will be sent out to students that are parents as well as faculty. The surveys that are for students will ask them specifically what resources they need to be successful at Boise State, and this does not include just academic resources. This can include things like how can I find better daycare that has better hours for my kids, and how can I have help with finances and things like that. For the faculty, there is a Title IX class that teaches faculty members, specifically professors, on the rules and regulations of Title IX and how to implement it into their syllabus. I want to know what faculty have a syllabus that is more flexible in their scheduling and attendance policy for parents, because sometimes parents have to miss class because of their kids and something that happens, and I don't think that they should be penalized for that. I also want to interview the Dean of Students. I have met with her in the past, but it has been a while. She has a mentor program right now for kids that graduate from the foster program, and I think that she has a lot of knowledge about how we can support these non-traditional students. Through my research, I found that there is a university in Pennsylvania called Wilson College, and they specifically have a program for single parents going to college. Now, I understand that Boise State is not ready to adopt a program as intensive as theirs, as they have a housing program and these students can live on campus with their kids, and that's just not something that's feasible right now. Additionally, I want to do more research about what works and what doesn't work, and just get more national data as well as local data to see what Boise State's population demographics are and how it is in proportion to the 22% of non-traditional college students that are parents. And then also I want to compile a list of how I will distribute my handbook. Ideally, I would like to make a PDF that can be edited over time that hopefully Boise State would use. But then I also would like to print out a few handbooks that I could distribute to Frank Church, which is an alternative high school that currently has pregnant and parenting teens. There's a new charter school that is doing the same. And also things like Planned Parenthood and maybe a local church or other things additional to Boise State. with this, my outcomes, I do have some personal and professional goals because I am a teen parent. I have a personal goal to just help parents that were in situations such as mine or a little bit different have an easier access and success rate in college. Professionally, when I graduate, I would love to build a portfolio that supports young mothers in college in pursuing their education. And I feel like this would add to a portfolio, and it's a handbook that I could take to other universities and hopefully implement something similar and cater it to them. For Boise State, I really feel that this could boost their morale and boost their retention as well as boost their enrollment. If Boise State was more marketed as a parent-friendly university, more might be willing to enroll. Additionally, I hope one day to create my own nonprofit for one of my classes. Last year, I got to create my own nonprofit, which I called College Happening, and I think that would be a really great idea to be able to do that as well. And so, as I said in my past slide, I will distribute this handbook across multiple places besides just Boise State so that the resources are out there and that hopefully over time, in the long run, enrollment will increase for parents. This is my resources. Thank you.